Well, hello. Thanks for tuning in to this Selling Travel TV presentation. I'm delighted to be joined by Brian Young, who's Managing Director, Europe, Middle East and Africa for G Adventures, the small group adventure specialists who this week unveiled a new series of 7 European tours for 2021. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
Before we talk about those new tours I just mentioned, how have bookings been in your cyber sale, which I believe you've now extended until December the 7th? What destinations are selling? What types of holidays and destinations are selling?
So it's been really interesting for us, actually, because we brought out the cyber sale and it launched on the same day that all the positive news came out about vaccines and how quick they were going to be rolled out as well. So I think we were quite fortuitous in terms of like coming out at the same time. And the beauty of that is clearly that has led to consumer confidence about being able to travel in the future. So what we've seen is a big uptake in terms of people booking further out into next year. But in all honesty, when it comes to destinations, I mean, it's pretty much across the board. In respect of, lots. Peru obviously is very big for us. Asia is very big. So you're seeing it spread across a number of areas. But one of the things that's been interesting for us is, and it has been like this throughout the whole of like the last 10 months as such with the pandemic and lockdowns and so forth, is this appetite for our people that are booking our tours to want to do more like active type touring, whether that be trekking up to base camp Everest or Kilimanjaro, lots of those sort of bucket list active tours, and we've seen that come through in the bookings that have been made through the cyber sale that we've got on. So that's very interesting because that's a trend that I think has born out of the pandemic in some respect, is people that have been locked down. The only bit of exercise we've all been allowed to do is like, I think it was 1 hour a day during the couple of months that we were in. And even now, as we're sort of coming out of this current one, you've been able to get out and walk with, somebody else. So I think you've got this connection with nature that I think we've all found through lockdown. This want to do more active type, based activities. So I think they're the things that we've seen come through. But there's certainly been pent-up demand as well for people to go, and we've seen that through the success of the last couple of weeks. And I think that timing with quarantine, the coming down, and the same with the vaccine. So I think it's just fortuitous timing as well.
Well, this new program very much taps into what you just said there, doesn't it? About people wanting to be more active and wanting to get out into destinations a bit more beyond perhaps the normal icons. And some of your destinations that you've got featured here are better known for other types of holidays, not the type of holiday you're promoting here, aren't they?
No, true, yes, yeah. But this was born of a few things. If you think, when we did a survey of our passengers to try and understand is like, where's their sentiment and their propensity in which to start traveling again. So very clearly they want to go when the opportunity is available to them and in the right environment, corridors opening up, etc. But they do want to go traveling. And what we found is like from that survey that we did with those guys is that in the early part of next year, they want to get going as soon as they can. And actually in that first part is more about traveling closer to home potentially. And I think the rationale behind that is the fact that, travel corridors have opened up. Most of them have been into Europe, over the last X amount of months. And I think that's going to be the case as we go through, December and into the winter period and come out into the start of next summer. So for us, it was a case of, we know there's a high propensity that people want to get away quickly when they can. And at the same time as well, when we asked them about where they would like to go in the early part of next year, Europe came, I think, number 2 or number 3 in the list of the top 10. Now, Europe for UK and our European business normally below all of that. You've got all of the other destinations, multitude that we do. So we took that feedback and actually said, we know, therefore, that our customer base is looking to do more active type holidays. They want to get out, be closer to nature, get underneath the skin of it, but challenge themselves with a hike in that respect. So we've basically said, right, let's build out this collection of 7 tours that, yes, I would agree with you, are in more mainstream beach destinations by nature. But at the same time, I think it's a huge opportunity for us to bring the likes of Corfu, Crete, Ibiza, that either are known for clubbing and music or known as a beach, package market destination. But they're amazing destinations and they've got so much to offer, and it's our opportunity to bring something different to those areas.
Tell us some of the activities and excursions that you're offering in those destinations.
So in Corfu, as an example, most people know Corfu as beach market package, Cassiope, Sidari, Kavos, and that's about it really. So that the beauty of Corfu is that you can do a trek from the north of the island right the way through the centre of the island down to the south. Now, what we've done is, rather than you do that type of trek where you're having to pack up every night, carry all your kit, you base out of Corfu town, and then we've taken the 7 best parts of that trek from the north to the south, and you hike each of those on a daily basis. And the beauty of that is that most people have been to Corfu. This is an opportunity to go back to a destination that you know and love and do something really different. Get back to what I would call like the ethnicity of Corfu, where you're going through some really old remote villages. You're actually going through some abandoned villages as part of that, which they're trying to restore. So us going back and bringing tourism to these parts is great for that, being able to give back to those areas. But you're going to do cheese making, go through olive groves. You're going to see some amazing scenery as you're climbing through. So that's sort of the Corfu side of things. And then again, Crete, most people take Crete as a beach destination, but you've got, sat within Crete, some amazing hiking that we bring into it. So you've got the Samara Gorge, you've got the White Mountains. And again, you're not having to trek every day with your backpack and all of your kit and overnight. We're going to bring you in and out of these areas, but you're going to visit remote villages, some coastal towns, and some of the bits to this tour are only accessible by foot or by boat. So, you're going to see some really stunning pine forests. You're going to pass through the Iron Gates, which is like the narrowest part of that gorge, and the rocks either side are about 600 meters high. So again, this is for me the opportunity for travel agents to say, we can offer you now something very different to a destination that and you love and you trust because you've probably been there a few times. And it allows the travel agents, for me, to be able to take one of these tours into one of these really heartland destinations, bread and butter for those travel agents, and twin centre it in some respect. Take a G Adventures tour here and then sell them a beach, holiday as a back end or front end to it. And I think that's like the real beauty of this for our agents is it's a chance to sell something that they know really well. And the other factors part of this is, we know people get bored very quickly nowadays. They want to do more things. People want experiences over stuff. And beach boredom is a factor. People, if you think the package holiday used to be 14 days, come down to 10 now, mostly 7. And that's because people want to do more with the holiday time they've got. And even in that period of time, they get bored of like just sitting around doing nothing. I think there's still a market for a beach holiday, clearly, don't get me wrong. But I don't think everybody wants to just do that same thing all the time.
Well, the wild card in this pack of new destinations that you're offering is Greenland, the country definitely not known for its beaches. What have you got? What are you offering there? And that sounds like a tour that's perhaps for the more experienced hiker. Would that be correct?
I think this is quite special, actually, this tour. If you want to get back to nature and you really want to see some amazing sights, this is, for me, the tour that if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, really get back in. So we go to the eastern side of Greenland rather than the west, which is where most of the cruise ships and such lights go to. You're going to see some stunning fjords, glaciers. You're going to be trekking across, some mountains. Same time, you're going to be camping underneath the stars. It's going to be some challenging hikes. You're going to visit some, small hunting villages. So this for me is like the real, get a backpack on and go out and sort of explore type thing. You're going to be taken to islands where you're going to hike, come back from that island to the central point. This, I think, is going to be special because it's very different. And like you say, out of that collection of 7, the rest of them are like in typical beach destinations as we would know them. And this one obviously sits as a bit of an outlier. But for us, it was too good an opportunity not to bring something really special. That if you want to do something different, like a bucket list type trip, you know, whether it be Kili or Everest, this is up there for me in that respect. So, yeah, I think, you know, we'll have a lot of interest in this because it's very different.
And that's a tour that starts in July next year. When do your others kick off? When do you begin this program?
March.
March.
Yeah. So, and the beauty of those tours as well, they're all in the shoulder seasons because obviously you get into the height of the summer and it's going to be pretty, you know, Crete as an example can be quite unbearable in the height of the summer. So you don't want to be hiking, you know, during that period. So we put them in the shoulder seasons specifically, one, because it'd be less busy, and 2 as well, your temperature is a big factor. So yeah, excited.
How would you describe the level of activity that people are going to undertake on these trips? Is it easy, moderate, or difficult, or depends on the tour and destination?
Yeah, I think, listen, for Greenland, it's certainly a bit more challenging. So you're going to need to, you know, have a level of fitness for Greenland, is my view. The rest of them, look, they're going to be, you need some fitness, but you don't need to be super fit for these. You know, I think we normally grade all of these in terms of like the amount of sort of fitness or activity. And I think they come out of 3, which is moderate. So I think, you know, if you've been doing lots of walking, you know, generally, I think you'll be fine with all of these tours, to be honest with you. It's not like you've got to be a dedicated hiker, you know, backpack on, etc. It's done at a pace that's accessible for everybody.
Okay, well, fabulous. Good luck with the program.
Thank you.
And let's all hope for a better 2021.
Absolutely.
Cheers, Brian.
Absolutely. Nice to speak to you.